Noisy Pixel.
The 2000s saw the introduction of a ton of interesting games and series that we haven't seen in years. One of these is the real-time tactics series Desperados, set in the American Wild West. Though each of the previous entries in the series did relatively well, developer Spellbound Entertainment went out of business in 2012, so we haven't seen hide nor hair of the series since 2007. Well, leave it to THQ Nordic to sweep in and save the seemingly dead series. Desperados 3, developed by Mimimi Games, looks to bring the series back to life, introducing Cowboy John Cooper to a whole new generation of gamers. Desperados 3 follows Cowboy John Cooper, a drifter on a quest of redemption. As he hunts down enemies from his past, Cooper comes across and befriends bounty hunter Doc McCoy, runaway bride Kate, trapper Hector, and the mysterious sorceress Isabel. Together, the team takes down numerous nefarious gunslingers in a journey that culminates in a dramatic showdown akin to the Wild West films of old. This plot brings nothing new to the table, but this feels intentional. While you won't be seeing anything genre-defining from the story itself, the plot is able to coast on its characters alone. Cooper and the gang are all generally entertaining characters. Watching them interact is a ton of fun, and their chemistry is what really carries the plot. Desperado 3's gameplay is equal parts stealth and real-time tactics. While players have the option to take on each mission any way they want, stealth is heavily encouraged, as running in guns blazing will typically end in a swift defeat. The freedom that Desperados 3 gives players is one of its strongest points, given that players will probably experience each of its missions in entirely different ways. Stealthing around and taking down enemies silently is more complicated than it might sound. Luckily, Desperados 3 heavily encourages trial and error. Players can quick save as much as they want, which I took advantage of. This trial and error approach works surprisingly well for the game's mission structure, and is responsible for some of its truly amazing moments. Given that it might take 10 tries to take down a single enemy, it's always incredibly satisfying when you execute a cool maneuver that ends up working in your favor. Each of Desperado 3's 5 playable characters are tons of fun to control. They all play slightly differently, with their own strengths and weaknesses. Figuring out each of the characters' quirks and deciding how to deploy them in any given situation is vital to completing a mission successfully. Though real-time tactics games usually lend themselves best to a mouse and keyboard, Mimimi Games has done a fantastic job mapping Desperado 3's actions to the controller. Though the control scheme does take some time to get used to, it feels fantastic once you get the hang of it. Desperados 3 might not have the best graphics in the world, but it doesn't actually need to. The game is entirely isometric, meaning you'll never get too close to any of the character models. As you might have guessed, Desperado 3 is a challenging game. While most of the difficulty feels earned, there were multiple times where it felt as if I would unfairly trip an alarm or be spotted. I'm admittedly not the best at these types of games, so I found the whole experience difficult, even when playing on standard difficulty settings. Those looking for even more of a challenge will be able to ramp things up a whole new level with the even higher settings available. On the topic of standard difficulties, Desperados 3 features plenty of extra challenges for players to attempt at any given level. For instance, each level has a speedrun time, challenging players to finish a level that took me an hour to complete in 12 minutes. Other challenges range from killing a certain amount of enemies with one character, killing all enemies, killing no enemies, or even level-specific circumstances such as taking a picture with a dead body. These challenges provide fun new ways for players to approach levels and challenge you to look at obstacles in unique ways.
Don't you worry about me, darling.
Oh, okay, stay right here. I'll be back in a jiffy. I need more time. Try to distract Frank. I really need to check the flower arrangements.
Yes, sir.
Desperados 3 doesn't have a groundbreaking plot or outstanding graphics. Still, its gameplay mechanics end up making it one of the best tactical campaigns that I've played in a while. I had a blast getting the most out of each character's unique skill set, even during some of the more difficult missions. In the end, this will satisfy any craving that you've had over the past 10 years for the Desperados series. Noisy Pixel is giving Desperados 3 an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.